Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. Guys, today I'm making you a sweet treat. Hope you are ready for it. We're making German chocolate cake today, guys. And I have a few ingredients and we're gonna go step by step. I want you guys to write these ingredients off because I don't always write my ingredients down. So you go ahead and get a pen and paper if this is something that you're interested in and write it down, or just put a video right there as you're making it and we all do it together, okay? The first thing I'm gonna do here is I have some pecans right here. I'm gonna put these in the oven, and these are whole pecans, so I'm gonna have to break them up. But I want to toast these for a few minutes. So I'm gonna put this in the oven to be toasted. Excuse me. So I put those in the oven so they can toast for a few minutes. It's not gonna take very long to be toasted. And over here for this recipe, it calls for 4 eggs. So I separated the eggs, and these are 4 egg whites. I'm going to beat these egg whites separately here until they come to a stiff peak, and then we're going to set this aside and go to another step. These are steps, and we're going to do the steps step by step together, okay? So let me go ahead and beat these up. Alright, guys. So let's stop this here. And this is our egg whites right here. Come to a stiff peak. So let me take this off. 1 second, guys. Right here. Okay? So I'm gonna take this from here and put it in this bowl because I need to use this. So let's empty this in here. And this is our egg white. We're gonna set this aside. You can use your hand mixer for this. It does the same thing. This machine is just fast and I don't have to stand there and hold it. I like it. Okay, guys. So this is gonna go inside of our cake, all right? So let's put this back on here. Now we're gonna set this aside. And now let's put this back on. The next thing I'm going to do is we're making, what are we making, guys? Who remember? German chocolate cake. So we're using German chocolate, okay? So now I'm gonna take this out from here. I'm gonna need a bowl. So now for the German chocolate cake, we have some chocolate right here. And I have a knife over here. So what I'm gonna do is I am just going to cut this up, just make it a little bit smaller, make it be that way. I'm trying to make it easy to melt because I'm gonna be melting it. So I'm making it smaller so that it would melt a little bit easier. There we go. So I have a bowl over here. I'm gonna put this all in that bowl. And I have over here, guys, that I'm gonna add to that. This is some coffee, some instant coffee. Don't forget your coffee. I'm gonna take half a cup of this coffee. It is nice and hot. I just made it. Ooh, I'm spilling though. Half a cup, and I'm gonna add half a cup of coffee to this right here. Mix it in there. And we're gonna set that aside as well to melt. So this I will set aside. And now we're gonna go on to our next step. Let me clean my area and then we would go on to our next step. Okay, so we set our German chocolate aside. So now we're gonna go on to the next step. So now we're gonna whip up a cake. Now I have here 2 cups of brown sugar. You can use white sugar instead. I just use brown sugar because I prefer brown sugar. Okay, so I'm gonna put my 2 cups of sugar in there. I have 2 sticks of butter, which is 1 cup of butter. And leave your butter out to come to room temperature to soften it up a little bit before you get started. So let me put my butter in here. You can save your wrappers to butter your pans, because that's what a little bit of butter on here will butter my pans. Okay, so that's 1 cup of butter, which is 2 sticks. All right, so now I'm going to, we need to put our paddle on. Forgot that. Can't do anything without this. Okay, so I'll go ahead and beat this for a little bit until everything is melted. Okay. Okay, guys. So I think this is about done here. It is nice and light. It's been beaten for a little bit. Let me just open this. Very good. I'm just gonna work down the sides of it right here. Okay. I'll leave that there for a minute and let's go on to the next step. Okay, these are steps, guys. They're not very hard steps, but they're steps, okay? So now let's put our flour together that we can add to our batter here. So over here, I have 2 cups of flour. I always like to sieve my flour. Okay, good. To that flour over here, let me rest this here. I have here 1 teaspoon of baking soda, half a teaspoon of baking powder, half a teaspoon of salt. I have here 1 tablespoon of cocoa. This is 100% cocoa. Add to that. And then what I'm going to do is mix this up. And then we're just going to go ahead and combine this together. Right. When we combine this together, let's set this aside for a minute again. I'm going to clean up here. Now we're going to go on to the next step. We're going to add a few things now to the batter. So we have our flour right here that we're going to be using. Now over here, remember I had those 4 eggs that I separated. I'm going to start adding my eggs here. And I'm going to add like 1 egg at a time. Slowly. Let it just mix in well. And we add all our eggs in. And let that mix. Next here, I have 1.5 teaspoon of vanilla. I'm gonna add my vanilla in there. Vanilla gives it a little bit of flavor. The next thing, remember the chocolate that I put to melt up right here? We're gonna go ahead and add that with coffee. We're gonna add all of that in there. Break the bowl out to make sure we get it all in there. Oh, sorry. And you can stop for a few minutes. Stop it for a few minutes just to go around the edges. Make sure you have your stove on at 350 so the oven can heat up. By the time you're ready, make sure your pans are already, oh, I'm making a mess, guys. I'm making a mess. Make sure your pans are already greased. So once we get started, you can just, continue without having to stop to do that. So now let's continue here. And we're gonna beat this up for a few minutes. Once we beat that up for a few minutes, now I have my flour here that I just added my ingredients to. We're gonna go ahead, take this flour, and I'm gonna add some of it to that. We're not gonna add all of it at once. We're just gonna add some of it. Maybe in 3 stages we'll do that. Let it be. You don't want to overbeat your flour in your mixture because it gives you a dense cake. So you're gonna just beat that for a little bit. Over here I have 1 cup of milk. This is coconut milk. You can use heavy cream, whipping cream, but I'm using coconut milk, so this is 1 cup. So I'm going to put a little bit of my milk in there while that continues to beat. Then I'm going to add some more of the flour. Some more of my milk. You can also use evaporated milk if you prefer. And I'm going to put the last set of my flour in there. And the rest of my coconut milk, add that to that. Now I'm going to stop here because I don't want, as I said, I don't want to overbeat that. So let me just clean this area really quickly so I can take that out so we can continue with this step, okay? I'll be right back. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stir in, make sure everything is whipped in here, stirred in here. And I'm going to stir it from the outside because when you are, when you have your flour in there, you don't want to stir too much. So from the outside, inside, okay? And mix it in. Now, guys, remember earlier when we took the egg whites and we beat our egg whites till we're nice and stiff? So now I'm gonna stir this in here. So I'm gonna take like part of it and kind of stir it in there. And I'm just gonna mix it in here. And all I'm doing is really kind of folding it in on itself. And then I'm gonna take the rest of it and just kind of, oh, I didn't want for that liquid that we're pouring here. Let me just pour that back off. Okay. So now I'm going to just mix this in here well. Mix it in. And mix it until you get everything mixed up completely. Okay, guys, so you continue mixing this in. So when you feel like you've mixed it in well enough, I have 3 pans here, and I'm going to try to divide this into those 3 pans equally. Now, if you have a hard time, you can get a measuring cup and you can measure it out and pour it in there. But I'm going to try to eyeball it and measure it. Even if one is a little bit higher, it's okay because we're going to be layering these cakes, okay? So let's go ahead. Oops, did I go on? Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm going to put a little bit in here, a little bit in here, a little bit in here, okay? And then I'm going to come back and put a little bit in here, a little bit in here, okay? trying to get it all out, guys. Move it here. This is what is in here. I'm trying to rake out. Okay, I think that's about good.
What is that, some butter?
That's just butter.
Oh, okay.
That's about good, guys. So now we're gonna kind of remove this here, remove that over there, and I'm gonna kind of even this out into the pan. Even it out into the pan, all of them. Oh, I didn't mention this earlier. Make sure you grease your pans. I think I may have said that earlier, but I put parchment paper to the bottom of the pan. So you grease it, you put some parchment paper, you put a little butter on the parchment paper before you put your cakes in there, okay? So even this out. That's my second cake. And then we do the same thing over here. Guys, I'm trying to ready cake. Okay. Okay. Before it even gets started. Okay. So these are our 3 cakes right here. Okay. Now the oven is set for 350. I'm gonna put this in the oven. Now you see these are very pretty flat. They're not a big cake. So you're not gonna put them in there for hours. So there's no way it'll be burned up by then. So you're gonna put this in there for at least 20 minutes or so. Check it within 20 minutes to see. Get a toothpick, stick a toothpick inside of it. If it comes out clean, you know it's done. If it's still a little wet, maybe put it in for another 5 or 10 minutes, okay? So we have one more step that we have to do, because we have to make a filling that goes inside and on the icing on the outside, okay? We have to make that next. So let me put this in the oven and then we're gonna go on to that. I'll be right back. Okay. So guys, remember early in the beginning, I told you I had some pecans I needed to put in the oven to be toasted. Well, I put them in the oven and I'm talking to my Charlie and I forgot them in the oven. So guess what happened? They're burnt. Look at them. Good thing I had extra, see? So these got burned up, so I had to start all over again. So obviously this is a little bit less. This was but a cup and a little bit. This is a little bit less than a cup. So we're gonna use what we have. So just remember when you in the kitchen and you see people on YouTube or so on and they bake and they come out really pretty. They have a lot of mishaps in the kitchen before it actually comes out the way they want to. So when you at home sometimes and your stuff don't come out, you kind of, oh my God, what are they doing? You kind of hard on yourself. Don't be hard on yourself. We have a lot of mishaps here, okay? So now what I'm gonna do with my almonds, these ones I toasted and I checked. So now I'm gonna chop these up really small because we're gonna use these. Now don't be getting away from me because I don't have much of you left. So we're gonna make our filling. And we're gonna use this for our filling. I also have 2 cups of coconut. This is a sweetened coconut. We will be using that as well. So you're gonna come over the stove with me so I can show you how we do this filling, okay? So you can buy your nuts that's already chopped up, or you can go ahead and chop it up yourself. I think this is a good set right here. Okay, so I have a little bowl right here. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in my bowl. And this is what we'll be using right here. Okay, so let's go over to the stove. Let me show you what we're gonna be doing. Okay guys, so now what I'm about to make is the filling that goes on top of the cake, on inside of the cake. So I'm gonna start with 2 cups of butter. My butter's been sitting out for a while. My stove is on medium. So I'm gonna melt this down here. Here we go. And to my melted butter, I'm going to add, this is 1 cup of sugar. As I said, you can use white sugar if you prefer. I'm using brown sugar. And I'm going to let this stay here for a while. I'm going to have to keep stirring it. So I'm not going to, you know, make you stay there watching me stir it. But don't leave it. Otherwise, remember I burnt the almonds earlier. Not almond, the pecan. So stay close by until this is all melted. You keep stirring it. And once this is all melted, I'll come back and show you what else I'm going to do. This was 1 cup of sugar that I put in here and 1 cup of butter, which was 2 sticks of butter. So now the next thing I'm going to do is I have here 2 cups of milk. This is, as I said, I'm using coconut milk, but you can use different kind of milk. If you prefer, evaporated milk is fine. You can use that. I also have over here 4 egg yolks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some of this milk to the egg yolk and beat it together. And I'm going to add that to here. I'm going to take some of this warm liquid and add it to here to kind of temper it down. You got to be careful because you don't want to scramble your eggs. And I'm going to go ahead and pour the eggs in here and keep stirring. Let me pour the rest of the milk in here. And I'm going to keep stirring this, guys, until it comes to a boil. I want it to come to a boil, and once it comes to a boil, then I'm going to add the other stuff to it. They're out of the oven. I just took them out. I left them in there for 20 minutes. So this is my toothpick right here. So as you can see, it comes out nice and clean. So the cakes are all done. So we're gonna leave these. We want these cakes to come to cool. And then I'm gonna finish this up and we're gonna put this to cool as well. I need this to come to a boil. And then once everything is cool, then we'll go on to the next step. But we have to finish this up right here. All right, guys. Now this is what just happened here. This the butter and sugar that I had in here along with the eggs and the milk, I was stirring it for a while and it had thickened up. Now I had over here some pecans that I had chopped up. I added them to this, and then I had 2 cups of coconut, sweetened coconut. I added the coconut to this. Unfortunately, Charles was videoing me, but the video.
You don't gotta put me on blast. You know, don't put me on blast.
Yes.
Just tell them what happened.
I'm telling them what happened. Charles did not have the camera on. He was videoing, but the camera was not on, so we missed that section. We missed that part. And I also added some vanilla essence, 2 teaspoons of vanilla essence to this. You missed that part on camera, but this is what I added to that. So now what's gonna happen is, as you can see, it has thickened up, and I'm gonna put it down for a while and it will thicken up some more. I have to let this come to a complete cool. Let me turn my stove off. And I have my cakes over here that's already done, that I'm going to take out of here and put on a rack so they can cool a little more. I'm gonna empty this into the big saucepan, because if I leave it in here, it's gonna stay longer to cool if I leave it in this pan. So I'm going to pour it in this big cup, this big bowl right here, so that it will cool a little bit faster. So as this cool, it will thicken up some more. And then I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna fill in our cake. So I'll be right back. Okay guys, so everything has cooled. So now let's start assembling and putting it all together. So we have our 3 cakes here that we did. So we're gonna gently just lift one of the cakes up and put it on here in the center right here. Now we're gonna take some of our filling right here and just go ahead and put the filling right here in the center. put right here in the center. Just put a little more. Now I'm gonna take one of my other cakes. So what happened, I put this in the center and I'm gonna spread it out a little bit, but I'm not gonna spread it all the way to the end because the cake is gonna push it to the end. Okay, so just spread it out like that. We're gonna take our second cake. Oh, I'm making a mess. Obviously I have the wrong spoon here. And we're gonna put this in the center as well. And just spread it out a little bit. Like that, and leave that there. And we're gonna take our final cake right here. Yeah, gently pick it up and put it on here. And we're gonna take the rest of our filling. And we're gonna put the rest of our filling. Let me hold this properly so I'm not making such a mess. And I'm gonna just put this on here and then just spread it out. Spread it out. Make sure it's on good. It's gonna fall to the sides. It's okay because I have this paper here that it can fall on that. Then you can take, you know, the paper from under there if you want to. Clean it up. I switched, guys, to this because this was not doing a good job, obviously. It wasn't doing a good job. So you just go ahead and put some all over. Make sure you cover your cake a little bit, as much as you can. Cover it. And just go all around. Yeah. And this, guys, is your German chocolate cake. That's it. This is your German chocolate cake, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I am going to cut it right now and taste it for you. I'm sorry you missed those few steps earlier. A certain person, and I'm not calling any names, was videoing. He said I keep putting him on blast. He said, I was so good all day. I was doing whatever you asked me to do, and now you put me on blast. So no more blast for him. So guys, let me go ahead and try this cake for you. Let me clean it up a little bit so that I can taste it and tell you what it tastes like. Okay guys, now it is time to taste our cake. The cake is all done. It's all cleaned up. This is our German chocolate cake, guys. I want you guys to go ahead and give it a try. Let me go ahead and cut it right now. This is always the best part, right guys? Cutting into it. And let me get it out. And this is what it looks like. Got pieces all over. German chocolate cake. I am going to taste it. It looks good. I just dynamite to heaven. That is really good. I always say that, but it is moist. You taste the coconut. You have the coconut in there. The chocolatey. It is a nice chocolate cake. Guys, this is really good. I don't know what to tell you. All I could say is go try it for yourself and then write me and tell me what you thought about it. It is delicious. I promise you. Okay? Thank you so much for joining me. I had fun. And I hope you had fun as well watching. Don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and leave me a comment, and just put the video on and just make one of these cakes for yourself. Okay? Share it with your family. You're gonna love it. Don't forget to subscribe. Until next time. Bye-bye.